Welcome to Michiana Main Lines. We're going to do another kind of a layout tour here. There was some questions about the previous layout tour, which focused on the HO shelf layout, and we're going to be starting with that. The area where there was N gauge meeting the HO, which is what we're looking at now, that's an N gauge layout. Also a little shelf layout. It's really a small layout, and we're going to kind of take a look at that over there. So we'll start at the same place where that line kind of met with the HO, and they both shared that kind of scrapyard area there. But this is another shelf, probably about 6 feet long, that joins with another small table of N gauge or N scale. So we're going to kind of follow this shelf along here and kind of see what we have. Again, the scrapyard was kind of a siding that went there. In a corner we see a George Roberts Printing Company building, which has a siding going to the back of it. And then that kind of also encompasses a small coal yard. We have a coal pile where hopper cars can be spotted. Also a highway overpass, kind of the same thing that we saw on the HO scale layout. Then we come to just a for-show railroad crossing, another railroad crossing this line. And this kind of moves along here through a country neighborhood scene pretty much. Some roads, some houses. Again, this is probably only about maybe 8 feet long here. It's just a small shelf, only a foot wide, no backdrop, nothing fancy. Here we see another country road area, and Hoffa Cement, which you might remember from the HO layout. There's also one here on the end with a siding. Also a commercial propane tank, kind of a tank car, covered hopper car loading area. And that pretty much takes care of this portion of shelf before this layout then joins up with the main table. There we kind of have a not too prototypical, but a bridge scene nonetheless. And then we enter the main table, which is a small layout. This is only like a 3 by 5 foot table, and we'll take a detailed look at it. But for now, we're just going to kind of follow this line here off to the left, which is kind of the shelf line, which will join another small shelf on the other side of the layout. There we see a train moving. We'll take a look at some train action a little bit later. But there we have a connection where the shelf layout line joins the table line. But this is all on the table here right now. Again, a 3 by 5. So we'll kind of continue down to the other end there and see where that will connect with another shelf. So we get down to that area. There's another siding and a bit small business warehouse. And a very unprototypical bridge. Just track and ties suspended in midair, but that's all we really needed. So again, modeler's license lets you do whatever you want on these type of things. But here we have just a small 3-foot shelf. Again, only a foot wide. Kind of a look at a abandoned line there with the highway and paving going right over it. There we see a Dairy Queen. That was kind of a rather new addition. Parking lot included. A lot of debris on the roof, but and then we see another siding, another commercial propane loading area. That just kind of goes to show you what you can do in a really small area just to model an industry. Just put in some piping, one propane tank, and there you have a place to realistically model the loading and unloading of tank cars and covered hopper cars. We see a Penn Central hopper car spotted there now. Then we have a bit of a lumber yard, kind of a lumber warehouse. A couple boxcars spotted there. And then this is where this shelf ends. Kind of take a look here just at the end of this shelf and see what it looks like looking right down the end of it there. So now we'll get back onto the main table and kind of look at what's going on there. Here we happen to catch a train passing the crossing. And a couple pretty good siding areas here. Here's one siding area we'll look at that was just newly remodeled. Warehouse with a couple boxcar loading areas and a boxcar dock crossing in the street. On this side of the road we have a scrapyard, another new addition. It's another easy industry to model. All you need to really do is throw up a fence and put some simulated scrap of some kind, and then you have yourself a scrapyard. You don't need any elaborate structures or anything like that. In fact, here there's only kind of that small office type structure. There we have an ADM grain elevator, same kit as was on the HO layout, but of course an N scale. And there is another main siding for them, with also some piping for tank cars and hopper car unloading. Now we back off into this corner. Yet another warehouse with two sidings on each end. Again, this just shows you how much you can do with a small layout. This is only a 3x5, and it has a double track main line, plus all of this industry included. There we see a stop train. And looking at the other side of that ADM grain elevator and scrapyard, the sidings that go into their respective areas. And there we have a brewery kit with an internal dock that is also the same track that runs out to that other warehouse area. So we'll kind of back off over here now and kind of take a look at the whole big scene. See if we can get this whole table in view. Yeah, there it is pretty much right there. There is the entire peninsula. That layout is actually probably 25 to 30 years old. It actually was moved over from another previous house. Nice thing about a small layout like that is it's very easy to maneuver. I think I just threw that in the back seat of my car. No muss, no fuss, not even very heavy. That would be a perfect layout for somebody with limited space and limited funds too. That would be good for an apartment dweller. You could even have this thing set up to where you could just put it off in a corner and then just stand it up on some platform or legs. Like here, there's just simple sawhorse legs underneath this table. So now let's just kind of look at a few trains here if we can. We'll kind of put this camera down and see if we can just do a little bit of train watching here. And if we can get that down. So that kind of gives you an idea what this layout is all about. Maybe we'll do some more of this kind of stuff. It seems to be pretty popular. There's been quite a few views of the HO tour. So we'll see what else we can do with this. But I just wanted to get something out on this N scale for anybody that might be interested. So again, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and we'll see what we'll have coming next. Have a good day. See you later.